Hello and welcome to College Track's Knowledge on Demand. Our topic today is eligibility to apply to the University of California system. Our objective is that by the end of this presentation, you will know what it takes to be eligible to apply for a University of California campus. First, there's a very important point we need to make. Eligibility to apply does not equal competitiveness of your application or likelihood for admission. Rather, eligibility to apply equals the bottommost standard you need to meet in order to even have your application considered. Eligibility to apply is the same across all 10 UC campuses, while of course competitiveness of your application and likelihood for admission will vary campus to campus. There are three eligibility components: college preparatory classes, a weighted high school GPA, and standardized test scores. We'll talk more about each of them now. College preparatory classes. These are called your A through G requirements. They are a list of 15 college preparatory classes that you'll need to take before high school graduation. You'll need to take 11 of them before your senior year. It's best if these are approved by the UC system in advance, and this is very common for California high schools. And you must take these classes in the following subject areas: 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 of lab science, and 2 of social science or history, 2 years of language other than English, 1 year of visual performing art, and lastly, 1 year of a college preparatory elective. And what this usually is a class that you've taken above and beyond the requirements in another area. So for example, if you take 4 years of math in high school, that 4th year of math counts as your college preparatory elective. Next, we'll talk about GPA. Your high school GPA is weighted, which means that you get extra points for honors and AP classes. It only includes college preparatory classes, so those A through G requirements we just talked about. For California residents, you'll need to have a 3.0 minimum GPA in order to be eligible to apply. For residents outside California, that raises up to a 3.4. Next, we'll talk about standardized test scores. You can take the ACT plus writing or the SAT reasoning test. You don't need to take both, and you do not need to take SAT subject tests. There is no minimum score for eligibility to apply. However, as I'm sure you can imagine, your scores will in part determine your competitiveness and likelihood for admission. Lastly, you should take this exam no later than December, and frankly, you really should be taking this exam in September or October, so that if you don't get the score you like, you have one more chance before December in order to take it. There are 2 alternative routes to become eligible to apply. The first is called admissions by exam. This is for students whose GPA might not hit that 3.0 threshold for California residents or 3.4 outside of California. For this route, you do need to take SAT subject tests, and here's how it works. You can submit scores either for the SAT reasoning test plus 2 SAT subject tests, or you can submit scores for the ACT plus 2 SAT subject tests. To give you an idea of where your scores need to fall, on the SAT, your average score per section and per subject test needs to be about 690. For the ACT, your average score per section needs to be about 31, and you also need to be averaging about 690 on the SAT subject test. If your scores are in or above this range, I suggest that you go to the UC website for more information. The second alternative route is called admission by exception. This is for students who have had special circumstances in their life that got in the way of their eligibility to apply. There are too many examples to list, and so what the UC asks is simply in your personal statement and/or in the additional comments section of the application, make sure you make it clear that you are applying for admission by exception, and then explain your circumstances. There's lots more information available online. Here's the link that you can go to that takes you directly to the freshman requirements page, or you can simply do a web search for UC freshman admissions. We're always interested in your feedback, so please feel free to email us your comments and suggestions to theknowledge@collegetrack.org. Thanks so much for joining us today. We hope this has been a helpful presentation.